in the spoilers discussion, and so basically, the biggest spoilers. I mean, really, you just want to talk about the actual. So obviously, Rambo's daughter gets taken. Rambo gets like beat up, and eventually, inevitably, gets her back, but she ends up dying because of drugs that they gave her, and that's basically the biggest spoiler is that she dies.
But,
and he goes full Rambo mode after that.
In my opinion, that it needed to happen because the fact that he saved her and then she died in the car as he was coming back, it wouldn't have made sense if he saved his daughter like that and then still went off and started to like sell these traps and stuff at the farm. It just, I mean, I could see them going back to try to get the girl, but they needed him to like have something even push him over the edge even more because he's already over the edge because he's Rambo. He's already like kind of insane because of the wars he's been through, and that's why you saw that from the first movie when he's like in the prison place. He's having flashbacks from being like in prison camps of like in war of like I don't know where he's at, Vietnam and places like that.
They did that once.
So he was already kind of like mentally a little bit out of it, and so the fact that you add something else to that and make him get even more mad. That's why it made sense at the end when he like shoots the main bad guy. There's two main bad guys, these two brothers. I can't think of their last name. And the first one, the one I wanted to see get killed and the slowest death was the one that got killed off screen. He must have been in the shower or something because all of a sudden you see his headless body on the bed, and then you see his head get dropped out the window with clothes on. So that didn't really make any sense. But still, I guess he was in the shower before he got in the shower.
Clothes on, and then he killed him.
And then he drops his head out the window, and then his other brother, who is just completely, I mean, that whole end sequence, like, I thought they were going to get one shot in on Rambo. Like, I guess they hit him once, but that whole scene, they have like 50 guys, and not a single one of them gets any kind of good look at Rambo. And the main guy, I mean, he doesn't get one clean look. Like, the whole time he's just looking around. It is a callback to when the main cop is in the woods, and he keeps hearing his like men saying like, shoot, what's his name? Whatever his name is. They're yelling his name, and like they're yelling his name through the like he keeps like saying through the walkie-talkie like, okay, where is he? Where is he? And you just keep hearing like gunshots and stuff. But then you hear Rambo say, I could have killed you 8 times because like that's how many times he could have had him. And he says if you want to live, run to the light. And he freaking books it out of there without getting killed. And then he runs into his traps. All the stuff like worked perfectly. And it gets down to just him, and then he shoots the 3 or 4 arrows to like pin him against the wall, which he had practiced that before with cards, and that, like I said, his daughter dying, pushing him over the edge even more, made me believe that he was gonna this scene when he basically cuts his chest open and rips his heart out, which at first I thought that was a little crazy, but it makes sense with this character, especially after what happened. And he had said like, I want you to feel how it feels to, like he said earlier, I think he actually said like, I want you to feel how I felt when you have your heart ripped out, but he actually meant like your heart actually ripped out.
Wait, that's what I thought that
was awesome.
Yeah, when he's driving her back, I honestly thought in the moment that she was gonna live because I was like, okay, so they took her, so they were gonna come back, and I was like, okay, I understand now. They were gonna drive back and try to get her, but when she actually died, thinking about it now, yeah, he wouldn't have been that insane if she probably would have survived. But I really thought I was for sure she was going to survive because he got her back. And then when she actually died, that was the shocking moment I was talking about. I was like, oh my God. And then that's when you're like, okay, Rambo, we're going to take these people out.
It's kind of like Rocky and stuff, like when his trainer dies, like you almost need, when someone dies, sometimes like that, it really does add to the motivation level. And just, if it wasn't for that, I really don't know if I would have given it a 10 out of 10 like I did, but there's just so many things about it that, like I said, I mean, it's a short film. It's not a 3-hour film with like great like story development. Like it was just a simple story that hit everything it needed to hit. It didn't add any bull crap that didn't need to be in there like most films do. Now which is why another reason why I give this movie a 10 out of 10 because it doesn't go from any angles. Like it just gives a good storyline, 2 characters, like really 2 main characters, the daughter and Rambo, and then the villains. Like it's just a simple like a movie I could just sit back and just watch. I'm not like confused with a super complex storyline.
Like Star Wars now.
Yeah, like I'm not like worried about anything. Like I could just sit there and enjoy the film and not have to worry about like CNN being on the TV or something like that or some bullcrap. But
well, that's the one part I wanted to mention though is the really big difference between Rambo and his character is when in the cave, just one in particular kill, is when the spikes go into the guy. And if you saw the original Rambo, it's like that except it shows how much different it is because it sticks into him and then he shoots his head off. which shows how the sticks let that guy survive in the first one, but that shows how much more.
He's going for kills in this.
Yeah, how much more flipping not insane, but more determined he was, and how much different the stakes were there with how bad these people were, and just how he literally blew his head off instead before he let him survive. So it's like he is done, and his character at this point is just like in absolute killer mode.
So that made sense to me because in the first one, he really doesn't want to kill the cops. He's trying to just get away from the cops.
There's some good swords. Yeah, there's some good swords.
That's why in the woods he purposely spares all the cops because for the majority of the cops, especially the younger guy, the redhead, they're not really they're not bad. I mean, they're cops. I mean, obviously the main cop is pretty
3 or 4
is pretty bad because they want to get they're treating this veteran guy really bad. They're being really stupid.
Really bad.
They freaking put your goddamn hand on the table like that guy, or freaking clean him up one. But for the majority, he doesn't want to I mean, he freaking punches a guy in the first one. Who didn't even know what was going on. He's what is going on? He freaking gets punched and kicked out the glass. But that one he's not really going for the kill for the most part because he spares most of them. He even spares the worst cop. But this one, he is not going for easy shots. He's going for kills. There was a really cool scene where I saw holes in the walls and he was sticking a pipe through there. That was a pretty good one too. He had some guns.
Well,
it kind of reminded me of John Wick a little bit. How he had the guns purposely in the right. It really was like John Wick. How he had stuff already hidden, where he needed to be, because he had everything planned out perfectly. It was a little hard, maybe a little hard to follow where he was at in the tunnels. But I mean, you could just assume that he was outsmarting everyone because the tunnels are pretty you saw that shot. I don't know how they did the shot when he was blowing up the ground from far away. That looked really real. I don't know if they actually did that because. Then you get to see where the tunnels went. It was kind of what's that movie called? Lion King 1.5 with all the meerkat tunnels and stuff. But
I definitely did like that scene where he's run to the light if you want to live, and then he's freaking running.
There's no way he would have outran that though. It was collapsing way too fast. But obviously he had to survive. But it ends perfectly in my opinion. He just sits down on his deck, and I thought he was gonna die for a second.
I thought he was
bleeding. I'm don't have really just. I actually would have been mad if they did that too. But they had him sit there like a boss and rock, and then I kind of mentioned earlier a little bit how they had a little callback. They did a recap of all the films in this universt, and even this one. They even showed a recap of this, and I loved how that looked because there was slow motion pause shots from movies. And like I said, that's the honoring stuff. It honored this film. It honored the original so perfectly, and didn't do anything to f up this character. Can you imagine if they had this character do a complete 360 and or 180 and change how he was and say something really stupid. Even things he could have said here about politics. Yeah, I know, but instead they kept him as his character. One who found her original father. She was really annoying to me, and Rocky or not Rocky, freaking Rambo. I thought Rambo was gonna kill her for a second because he had her in that place, and he caught on she was lying. She had her her mother. Her mother's bracelet on.
That was shocking. I didn't know she was setting her up.
Yeah, I could tell something was off with her from the beginning. Because they were even saying, you can't trust her. She's not, there's a reason why she left. And then she basically just sold her out easily, just like that, to those flipping pigs in the cartel. And basically, he grabs her wrist, and then she walks him into the bar, and that's, we didn't really talk about that. If you want to talk about that, is.
Well, I wanted to
they get to the bar scene, that's when. She's like, are we cool? And he's like, yeah. Or he's like, or F off, something like that. Yeah. And you never see her again, I don't think, after that.
When you were saying how we thought he was going to die, I really didn't think it was going to end with, you saw him rocking. I was for sure the camera was going to zoom out on the chair, and you see it stop rocking, and it ends. But they zoomed out. But. And
then, right after that bar scene, when the annoying girl leads Rambo to that bar, that's when that scene happens with the bone. Is his shoulder?
He breaks his collarbone.
Yeah, whatever that was. He breaks his collarbone and just destroys that guy. And then the one thing I said earlier about not being heard of Rambo's character, even though it kind of is actually, he kind of just walks right into getting beat up by a bunch of people out there. I thought he might have a better plan than that, but then again, he did just walk into all the police and stuff, not really caring what's going to go on. But
I mean, he saw one spy, then was caught by another spy. So
even one of the bad brothers was like, "We cannot let this guy live."
Because he was in their territory, so.
But I mean,
you're right.
Yeah. think we covered everything.
Yeah.
And
you want to close it out?
and yeah, I really love this film. Definitely a 10 out of 10 for me. Kenny's close up there at 9.5 out of 10. And,
I thought it was a good film. I just didn't think it was perfect. And 10 is like blown away. I wasn't blown away. I really liked it.
Because there's not many movies nowadays that I can really say is a 10 out of 10. I mean, I think the last 10 out of 10 I get...
John Wick.
10 out of 10 I get
Oh,
was
you didn't get
either...
John Wick.
Well, if we did John Wick 3, yeah, definitely
You
get
didn't.
a 3 out
You didn't.
10 out of 10.
You didn't, though.
No,
We
no.
reviewed it.
Well, we didn't review it.
Yeah, we did. John Wick 3. We just
did?
did. Yeah, I gave it a 10. You gave it like a 9.5 or something.
That's right. And I get the first John Wick 10 out of 10.
We haven't even,
So before
we
that-
haven't reviewed that yet, but...
But before that, though,
You know, fish, did you get water or something?
there was a freaking like puked in my mouth. I'm trying to like.
Okay, you should get like water or something.
But and the last 10 out of 10 game was freaking Halloween. I'm pretty sure. So
You gave Avengers a 10 out of 10.
I gave it Endgame at 10 out of 10.
I'm sure you did.
I think I gave it a 9.8 because of that one scene. I don't give that many 10 out of 10s, but I just think this film was. I just really like this film a lot.
We just ended up so you can talk to.
I mean, there's no right or wrong opinion on it. I, mean,
I know
it's
you were
just,
giving me
yeah.
crap though for not giving it a 10, so I mean,
I thought we were on the
that's
same
pretty good.
page. So yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. Our spoilers discussion of Rambo: Last Blood. Let us know what you guys think of the movie. It's definitely no 10% of Rotten Tomatoes, whatever the heck it is. Only real insane people took it a different way, because you could take everything the wrong way. Speak of the Joker movie, which we're gonna be seeing this week. So
Yeah, expect that review soon.
yeah, be ready for that, guys. And thanks for watching again, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.